Hey, what is up, guys, and welcome to a little bit of information about the Hunter. So, the Hunter just released a video today, or yesterday, about the new DLC that will be coming out at the end of the year. And instead of it being a map as it normally has been, it is going to be a dog DLC. So, we're not exactly sure on the details for it, but we do believe, I believe at least, that they're going to add a new dog. It sounds like a lot of creators are talking about it being a lab or a retriever, which makes sense. But my guess would be they're gonna add probably different types because what I saw is it looks like they might add a flushing dog, so it might be a pointer or it might be something else. But the way the whistle and then the dog bark and the rabbit left, that could be a sign that they're looking for a flusher because there are pheasants, there are quail that you have to get right up on for them to flush, which can kind of make it a harder shot. Versus in reality, where you can have a dog do the flushing or do the pointing. So they might add those into it, and it might be multiple different types of dogs that they add. But it does sound like they are not going to add a new reserve to the game until next year. My assumption is they're just going to flip it to where instead of having it be a reserve, and instead of having it be a reserve and then whatever game, be a reserve, and then the next DLC, which would probably be in March or something like that. My guess is the new reserve will come out in March, give or take. And we'll see. They very well may change it. They haven't given an announcement as to what it will be, what reserve it will be, or where it will be. But they did give us the information that they are going to be working on doing a doing the dog DLC, doing this DLC first, and having it come out by the end of this year. So probably by December or something along those lines would be my guess as to when it comes out. And we shall see how it goes. I personally don't use the dog a whole lot. To use the dog DLCs for anything. I don't have the DLC, and I wasn't planning on getting a dog DLC. But we shall see if they kind of make it worth the while. Because to me, it doesn't seem worth the while because a lot of it is um, just having the dog track for you. And it's tracking the blood, and it might be tracking the tracks, and stuff like that. And then as well as giving you warnings about aggressive animals near you. So like wolves or a lion or something like that. Or a crocodile. And in my mind, the way I played it, I originally played this game without that DLC, so I've been accustomed to knowing and paying attention to, especially when there's an aggressive animal, listening to that. I think only a couple times have I been actually like snuck up upon by a wolf pack. But the game has done a good job at making the wolves clear and very um, loud when they growl. Excuse me. Very loud when they growl, and so you can hear them coming originally, and so that's why I don't feel a whole need to get the pack, as well as it could add a little bit more of a pain when hunting. Sure, my style isn't necessarily what I mean for that, but for those who have more of a close up, sneaking up style where they're getting close to an animal before they take a shot, which I do sometimes. You have to remember your dog is there and remember how to control your dog to have it do certain things and certain activities. So I just felt like they were more hassle than they were worth. Tracking is also another reason why people get them. My friends has that, and they use the dog for tracking, and it helps them quite often. Um, I've never had that much problem with tracking. I think there's only been a couple animals where I've just lost them, but never a trophy animal. And it's more so not, and it's more so just the gaps. So it helps with the gaps that you find because there's gaps in the tracks every once in a while, especially when there's a lot of different species. There's gaps or a lot of different tracks. There. Oh shoot. I may have just gotten a Diamond Capercaillie while talking about this. Uh, but there's gaps between tracks, and the more animals there are, the less likely the track that you're following is gonna appear. And so I could see it being worth it. To me, it's just not. So depending on what they do with this and how much they change the DLC, because it's gonna be a new DLC, so it's not just gonna be a revamp. It's not gonna be it's gonna be a new DLC. So depending on what it's like and what it is, I might buy it and I might go into it. I might not. I will most likely talk about it. We very well just got a Diamond Capercaillie while talking about this, so that's awesome. That is very awesome. But yeah. Anywho, um, yeah, we'll kind of see how it goes, how it plays out. I think it's gonna be a good DLC, and I think a lot of people are gonna like it no matter what. Um, I do believe if they released a map, more people would be happy. But again, that's just kind of expected a little bit when playing this game. It makes sense to release that more people are going to be more interested in the map instead of a DLC, because a DLC is for select people, kind of, and not everyone is going to want to play it or use it because they have different playstyles. Versus a map, where if you release a map, no matter what your playstyle is, you're going to be able to play that map and play your style on that map, and you won't have any problems with it. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see what it's about, and we'll see what they release here in the next couple of weeks. Because Tuesday, Jack C. Beard will probably talk about it as well and explain a little bit about it. But we shall overall see what goes on. I'm either way. I'm looking forward to it, and I think it'll be a nice new DLC. Again, I do wish that they did a map DLC, or maybe had two DLCs come out. But at the same time, it's also very understandable why they couldn't, because it is a lot of work to do a DLC in general. So putting out two within the span of a month and a half, 2 months. Well, I guess 2 months, 2.5 months from the last DLC that came out is hard on them. And if they want to add the best kind of content, or best kind of content, best kind of stuff that for us, the create not only the creators but those who play it, then yes, it's going to take more time. And I would rather them ship out a smaller DLC that's still good, but not the level of a map, but still ship out a map as well, and have that be even better than the other maps. Now, again, they haven't talked about any other maps or what the map's going to be, so we don't know if it'll be better, and we don't know exact release date. We just know it will be in 2024, which changes their pattern that they've had, where it's a small DLC, map, small DLC, map. And so we'll see what goes on with the pattern after this, and we'll see what they add. My theory onto the map is that it's gonna be, if they're planning to add a great one, which I think they are, because they've been adding a great one with each map. If they plan to add a great one, it's gonna be, and they're gonna, well, so there's a pattern that I've noticed that they've been doing. Whether or not they've intentionally done it or it's just happened, there's a pattern. And the pattern is they have two prey animals, two prey animals, and they're both deer. Don't have to be deer, but two prey animals. So the first one was a whitetail and a red deer. And they had a predator, which was a black bear. And they had moose and fallow deer. So with that, I have a feeling they're gonna add a new predator, which means it's gonna either be, well, there's options, but it could be a red fox, a coyote, something like that. A new predator, new Great One predator, and it's gonna be from the original two maps, because they've also kept that theme as well, where it's from the original two maps that get a Great One, which makes sense. They don't want to add a Great One to a map that you have to buy. They want to add great ones to species that you can get for free, or just by playing, just by owning the first game. So it makes sense. So if they're gonna add anyone, I believe that they're gonna add. Well, if they're gonna add a species, and if they're gonna follow the pattern, then it narrows it down to like a coyote or fox, because those are the main predators. However, if they're not going to do that, actually, I just thought of this. They could have thrown a curveball. Not necessarily a predator, but not necessarily a herbivore. Great one boar. They could add that, and that would be a nice curveball and something very unexpected. I wouldn't have expected that, and it just popped in my mind that that exists. And so I think that could very well be an option that they go, because that would actually be pretty cool, because you could make the tusks, make the boar bigger, make the tusks actually more pronounced than what we have. That would be pretty cool. But if it's not the boar and it's not the predators and they're going to go with another herbivore, then my guess would be blacktail. That would be a really blacktail or elk. That would make really good sense, and they're both antler animals that you can get a really good set of really good rack base, just like a good diamond rack. So adding that to the great one and having like a great one elk with giant horns with some fur, with not fur but foliage on it, that would be nice. Or having a massive blacktail rack, that would be nice. So those could be it, as well as maybe a roe deer. I don't think so, or a bison. Um, so they have options, but I would have to pin it on if they're gonna go with their pattern. I'm thinking it's gonna be probably a coyote, because I feel like that's been a talk about beforehand. And if it's not, they're not following a pattern. My guess is they're gonna go for a bigger animal and go with the elk. So let me know what you feel like. Let me know how you feel in the comment section down below about this new update. How they're doing a map instead of, or how they're not doing a map, and how they're doing a dog update. Let me know if you want to see me do that, because I very well might do it anyway. Even though I don't use dogs. And let me know what you guys think the new map is gonna be, or what they're gonna add to it. I honestly have no idea where it's gonna be. If it has to be where it keeps the species the same as the first two maps, I honestly have no idea, because I don't really know geography and where certain species are. So I have no idea. But yeah, let me know down in the comments if you have any ideas, as well as what you guys want to see them create. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Good times.